Time for the next X30 senior encounter, qualifying heat for groups B and E to race against each other. That puts Danny Bunshu and Camille Proteau on the front row of the starting grid. So for Danny Bunshu, the Swiss driver, he really needs to get this good qualifying form from yesterday nailed to the mast now and put in a strong challenge in the race trim. But him and Camille Proteau being on the front row of the grid will make things particularly tasty in terms of the race action. Vincent Marcereau also finds himself in the mix there on the second row of the grid alongside the Estonian Sim Liedmar. And then we have Kike Bordes-Cotes on the third row of Spain alongside Eli Goldstein, who's hoping that the bad luck from the second heat will not strike again. The yellow flags really caught him out when he had an opportunity to go for a race victory, with the kart stalling under yellow flags or mechanical problems setting in and ruining his race. But he can fight back from the third row and he will be strong. Philip Vava of Spain and the Belgian Noah Rovers are there on the fourth row of the grid. And then we have the Brit Joe Turney, who retired from his previous heat, and the Frenchman Pierre-Francois Duriani to round out the top 10. Then we have the fast-flying Frenchman, Joel Deptouche, who has done so well in his first two races, a sixth and a third thus far, including some incredibly fast laps in the previous heat, Joel Deptouche. Then we have Etienne Chely, his countryman, alongside him on the sixth row. Jordan Brown-Nutley and Jacob Ang occupy the seventh row of the grid. Enzo Giraud of Switzerland lines up alongside Niels Kuhlen of Holland. And then we have the Finn, Levi Luntakanto, and Isaac Valtonen of Sweden. Then Patrick Rundqvist, also of Sweden, lines up beside the Brit Angus Mulsdale to round out the top 20. Then we have Ruben Moya and Martin Hebet on the 11th row of the grid from Tony Harainen and Robin Knutson. Jack Tomelin of Great Britain lines up beside the Finn Valti Valkeavi. Henki Kouteren of the Netherlands lines up beside the Brit Rufus Hunt. And then we have Hong Kong's Boris Young, Britain's Leonardo Paniotto, and the Philippines driver Tai Alexander Zulberti. So as the drivers run away together out of the pits, it'll be interesting to see who can take the victory out of this one. For my money, it's anybody in the top 10, actually, because all 10 of them have shown a little bit of gusto, although Joel Deptouche could be an outside bet from the sixth row of the grid just because of where he's positioned. In terms of his speed, he definitely has what it takes to win. But so far, looking up and down the grid, there is not a single driver in this grid that has yet to win this weekend. It's an open playing field for them, so they will be battling hard. The the next race will have two winners in it, in the state of Mark Kimber and from last time out at Valencia for the Winter Cup, Clayton Ravenscroft, but none of these drivers have won in this paddock in 2018, so it's a completely open ballpark. Here we go. Let's see who's going to take a famous victory in qualifying heat BE. This is now the 15th race out of 22 today, and here's your grid. Bunshu, Proteau, Marcereau, Liedmar, Bordes-Cotes, Goldstein, Vava, Rovers, Turney, Duriani, Deptouche, Chely, Brown-Nutley, Ang, Giraud, Kuhlen, Lintukanto, Valtonen, Rundqvist, Mulsdale, Moya, Hebet, Harainen, Knutson, Tomelin, Valkeavi, Kouteren, Hunt, Young, Paniotto, and Zulberti. It's an amazing grid of 31 karts as they battle away for supremacy around this circuit, and none of the 31 drivers in this grid have yet to take a race victory. So it's going to be interesting to see who does and who does not. So the battle will be firmly joined at the end of what promises to be a thoroughly exciting contest. And I'm being handed amended results as the day goes on, so we'll try and update you with those as the racing progresses. But so far so good as the X30 seniors, 31 of them, battle around the Salbris circuit in 1 lap's time. This is their second formation lap. And then of course we will finish up the cruise control part of the weekend, or this part of the race anyway, and then proceed to go to battle. Now, is Danny Bunshu going to form them up already down the back straight, or is he just trying to get a little bit more speed out of the car, just trying to warm the kart up a little bit more? A little bit more weaving as they come around on the formation, on the formation lap. It's the problem with being France. Problem with being in France, it's the catering. I'm a bit addicted to it, I do apologise. Anyway, Danny Bunshu and Camille Proteau on the front row of the grid. Vincent Marcereau and Sim Liedmar on the second. Kike Boris-Cotes and Eli Goldstein, Philippe Vava and Noah Rivers, Joe Turney and Pierre-François Duriani, Jordan Tush and Etienne Shelley, Jordan Brown-Nutley and Jacob Ang, Enzo Giroud and Niels Kulin, Lee Valentucanto and Isaac Valtonen, Patrick Randqvist and Angus Mulsdale, Ruben Moya and Martin Hebet, Tony Harainen and Robin Knutson, Jack Tomlin and Valtteri Valkojärvi, Heikki Kalteren and Rufus Hunt, Boris Young and Leonardo Paniotto, and Ty Alexander Zilberti. They form up now, up to the final two apexes they come. 15, the quick flick. Little bit of brake needed for turn 16 under race conditions, but get the line right and you're a superstar blasting down the front straight. Bunshu, Pruteau, Maseru, Liedmar, Boris-Cotes, Goldstein, wait for the lights to go out, and they do, and we're going to go racing. Into the first corner, a nice sweep from the entire grid as they all battle together, and it looks good from the leader, Danny Bunshu. No major pressure from Pruteau as they come through the first couple of corners. It's all fine. Vincent Maseru is there in third position. Back into fourth position comes Sim Liedmar, originally defeated by Kike Boris-Cotes, but now he's back down to fifth place. And in sixth, that looks like Eli Goldstein still. So the top six seem to have stayed in position. A big problem for the 2-2-3 though. And that is Angus Mulsdale down at the back of the field, having come a cropper in turns 2 and 3. A big shame for the Fusion driver, so he's now playing catch up. But these three at the front of the field are the first three on the grid, Bunshu, Pruteau and Maseru. And they're going to battle away in the early stages. Oh, that's Maseru into second, my apologies. So Vincent Maseru has got past Camille Pruteau, the red suit denoting Pruteau. Pruteau goes back down the inside and takes on Vincent Maseru. So second place changes again for Danny Bunshu. This is amazing. Not again for Eli Goldstein. Eli Goldstein is crawling. Goldstein is down at the back and he's touring in. Oh, Goldstein right near the front once again, and he's touring into the pits and retirement. Eli Goldstein yet again out of luck as up the inside comes Sim Liedmar to get past Vincent Maseru and gets into third position. Maseru is then backed into Philippe Vava, who's now in fifth position, having worked his way by Kike Boris-Cotes. And Boris-Cotes, I think, is now slotted into seventh place behind Joe Turney. And then we have Jordan Tush, the Frenchman's coming back. Oh, it's contact on the back of Joe Turney. On the back of Joe Turney, that is Kike Boris-Cotes. Ah, they've come together. Joe Turney and Kike Boris-Cotes. That is a disaster. It's a much more clumsy race than we've seen in the past. And up the inside for the lead, that's Camille Pruteau. Pruteau takes the lead from Danny Bunshu. So Danny Bunshu down to second place. It's Camille Pruteau. The Frenchman now leads the race here at Salbris. Sim Liedmar is third. Fourth is Philippe Vava. Fifth place, that's Vincent Maseru from Jordan Tush, and Jordan Brown-Nutley is up 6 places to seventh. Now Brown-Nutley's getting on with it. He moves up a place. So Jordan Brown-Nutley into seventh position, up to eighth place. That looks like Noah Rivers has come up past Etienne Shelley. Enzo Giroud, Niels Kulin, Pierre-François Duriani is in there. So too is Lee Valentucanto. So Jordan Tush is up to fifth. Up to sixth place has come Jordan Brown-Nutley. Still a lot of racing to be had in this one, and it's going to be very intriguing. Every single driver here has yet to win a race, and they're all going to charge their way through. But we've lost Valtonen, we've lost Eli Goldstein, and it looks to me as though Kike Boris-Cotes and Joe Turney have recovered and are still racing, but they're now a long, long way down the order. Up the inside, that's a late lunge for Liedmar, and he's through past Danny Bunshu. So Liedmar through in a second position, past Bunshu. Philippe Vava is next, then comes Jordan Tush, who knows his way around this place very well indeed. So let's see how they battle. Up on the inside, is that going to be a nice move for Bunshu to get back on Sim Liedmar? He's committing and he's not quite alongside. That's going to leave him vulnerable to Vava, and through as well goes Tush. He tries to come back on Jordan Tush, and Bunshu shoves him wide nearly. Jordan Brown-Nutley's now on the back of him, trying to get into the mix. And this is the battle for fourth position. Jordan Brown-Nutley up to P5. So the Brit is working his way through the traffic nicely. Second place is still up for grabs though, because Sim Liedmar and Philippe Vava are not far up the road. Camille Pruteau, meanwhile, is a second and a half ahead of these guys. They've got to be careful not to let him disappear. So the battle continues on. Camille Pruteau leading the way. Sim Liedmar is second. Third is Philippe Vava. Fourth position is Jordan Brown-Nutley. It's a really close battle at the moment, but out in front it is Camille Pruteau. Liedmar, Vava, Brown Nutley, Deptush. So it's going to be continuing on this battle. 6th place is now Ruvers in front of, now that looks to me like in 8th position. I'm trying to make out who that is. I'm just trying to make out, I think that might be Vincent Marceau, who's got himself back into 7th place in front of Danny Bunshu. So the guys at the front end of the field are now still struggling to be there. But Camille Proteau, 1.8 seconds ahead of Sim Liedmar. Joe Turney is the new fastest man on the track. I'm just trying to make out where he is. He's in 21st place, just in front of Tomalin. So Turney trying to make his way forward. Now who's that made a mistake in there and has lost quite a few places? Turney's got through now. In fact, he's made 2 places in that little manoeuvre. So I think that puts Joe Turney up into 19th place. Yes, it does, just in front of Tony Harainen. So Sim Liedmar in 2nd, ahead of Philip Vava. 4th place is Jordan Brown Nutley, trying to go for the victory here. But Camille Proteau leads the way, 1.9 seconds ahead of Sim Liedmar. Make that 1.8. Joel Deptush, fastest lap of the race, 62.152. Still a long way to go in this race, 6 laps of the Salisbury circuit. But these 3 drivers could do with fighting against the guy in front of them rather than with each other. Liedmar, Vava and Brown Nutley need to work together to close that gap down to Camille Proteau. Just outside the top 12, we've got Lindecanto, Kuhlen, Knutson, Valkeavi, Hunt, Rundqvist, Turney now 19th from Harainen, Hebet, Kalteren, Tomalin, Borders Cotes, Ang, Paniotu and Zilberti ahead of Boris Young and Angus Moulsdale. We've just lost Goldstein and Valtonen for the moment. But Proteau's, the gap is coming down. The gap's down to 1.6 seconds now. So these 3 need to continue to close him down. Liedmar, Vava and Brown Nutley. Keep pushing, guys. There's time to catch the leader. It's not done yet. They come into 15 and 16, the final turns, and back onto the home stretch once again. And Camille Proteau is going to have it very tough today. There's now 4 of them working together now. Sim Liedmar, Philip Vava, Jordan Brown Nutley, and behind them, Joel Deptush. So Joel Deptush has got himself into the reckoning in 5th place. Do not count out Joel Deptush. He's got a great chance here. He's been very consistent through his heats, and he knows this place very well. He's just done a 62.055. Fastest in the first sector again, Joel Deptush. He is so good around here. He didn't have the greatest qualifying session yesterday, but in race trim, Joel Deptush is lightning. Now, Vincent Marceau has got himself back in his 6th place in front of Noah Ruvers. Danny Bunshu is 9th, Enzo Giroud is in 9th place, Etienne Chili is 10th, then it's Ruben Moya, Pierre-Francois Doriani, Levi Lutucantu, Niels Kuhlen, Robin Knutson, Joe Turney up to 16th now, and that's got him past Valtteri Valkeavi. So a really good battle going on here. Oh, careful out of the final turn. That looked like Joel Deptush getting a bit impatient on the back of Jordan Brown Nutley. 4 laps to go. And these guys really need to get on with it. Deptush on the inside of Brown Nutley. He will not kneel. Fantastic stuff. He won't yield. And he's got through there. I was tripping over my worms then. I do apologise. Out of turn 5 and down the back straight. Joel Deptush. Fastest lap again. 61.882. I think that makes him the first driver so far to duck underneath 62 seconds, certainly in this heat, for the lap. So Joel Deptush up in a P4. They are getting the gap down to Camille Proteau, but I'm not sure they're doing enough to get there. They need to go a little bit faster. End of the split, it's 1.4, so Camille Proteau puts in a very strong second sector. Oh, a mistake from Liedmar. And that's going to give Philip Vava a chance to counteract. Deptush and Brown Nutley still very close. Then Marceau in 6th position in front of Ruvers, Bunshu and Giroud. Ruben Moya's come up to 10th place now, the Spaniard going well. But there's your race leader, Camille Proteau, having got himself into exactly the right position at exactly the right time. Oh, there goes Vava. Vava goes into 2nd past Liedmar. Stop battling, guys. You could have caught him. But this is going to compromise their chances of victory. Vava makes the move on Liedmar, and I think that's just given Proteau the chance to win the race. Liedmar and Liedmar and Deptush know that they've got a chance to catch him, so just keep going, keep pushing, stop overtaking, keep pushing. There is a chance they can catch him. The gap is 1.6, but they are running out of laps. 3 laps to go. They need to work together on this, but Jordan Brown-Nutley has realised, I think the gap's too big. He's going to keep it on the inside of Joel Deptush, and they come together! That was inevitable. Deptush spins right in front of Marceau. Vincent Marceau just gets away with that, but Joel Deptush comes off worst. Brown-Nutley was adamant, I'm not going to sit here anymore. Neither driver would give way, and they ended up coming together. Well, that has absolutely nailed it to the mast for Camille Proteau. The Frenchman, I believe, is going to become the first Frenchman to win this weekend. Vava is second, Liedmar is third. Fourth is Jordan Brown-Nutley. Will he be allowed to remain there? I don't know. I think he should be allowed to get away with that, to be honest, because they were both battling for position. Neither driver yielded. For my money, that's a racing incident, but it's not my decision to call, of course. We can only see things how we see them. See Liedmar back in front of Philippe Vava, though, for second place, and these two will be battling right the way to the death of the race. And if they continue to do so, then Jordan Brown-Nutley will get another chance. Oh, beautiful from Vava, but Liedmar cuts across to cover him. Camille Proteau is now 3 seconds ahead of these two, who continue to squabble. There's nothing they can do to catch Proteau, so they may as well battle for second place, and that's going to give Jordan Brown-Nutley a chance to catch up. But keep an eye on Danny Bundschuh. If these three really start squabbling, then there's a chance Bundschuh could catch them up again. Camille Proteau, however, running well in the lead and into the final lap. So Liedmar and Vava battling away. Liedmar is ultra defensive mode now. Vava trying to come back through. Liedmar just holds the inside line. Here comes Jordan Brown-Nutley in fourth position, trying to get him back. Down the back straight. Vava attacks Liedmar. He's got him on the run. Liedmar bolts that inside line shut. Jordan Brown-Nutley still there. There's a good tussle going on for seventh position behind, for sixth place behind Bundschuh, as we've got Ruvers, Giraud and Marceau, still battling away for position. Camille Proteau, though, is going to come through to take the victory. 3 seconds, 3.9 seconds, in fact, clear. Liedmar and Vava are defending so valiantly as they battle away for position. Vava's going to have another track. Brown-Nutley's right there to try and capitalise. It'll be the last couple of corners, but Camille Proteau is going to get the victory. Fantastic! Camille Proteau gagné! Excellent result. Second place for Siam Liedmar from Philippe Vava and Jordan Brown-Nutley. Danny Bundschuh comes home for fifth position in the end from Noah Ruvers. Vincent Marceau, Ruben Moya, Joe Turney up to ninth in the end. A great comeback. Enzo Giraud, Etienne Chili and Levi Lintucanto in 12th place. 13th for Patrick Rundqvist, Niels Kuhlen, then Duriani, Knutsen, Boris Kotes, Harainen, Hunt, Kauteren, Valkejärvi, Tommelin, Hebet and Molsdale. And then we finish off with Zilberti, Ang, Panayotou and Boris Young. But Joel Deptush, sadly, despite setting the fastest lap of the race, a 61.882, retires from the race. But Camille Proteau, his countryman, gets a victory for Kart Republic France, the first Frenchman to win this weekend. From Liedmar, Vava, Brown-Nutley, Bundschuh, Ruvers, Marceau, Moya, Turney, Giraud, Shelley, Lintucanto, Rundqvist, Kuhlen, Duriani, Knutsen, Boris Kotes, Harainen, Hunt and Kauteren. Outside the top 20, Valkejärvi, Tommelin, Hebet, Molsdale, and then in 25th position we have Zilberti in front of Jacob Ang, Leonardo Panayotou and Boris Young. Sadly, it's a non-finish for Joel Deptush. And barely a start at all for Eli Goldstein or Isaac Valtonen. A real shame to see both of them on the sidelines as well. But for Camille Proteau, the weekend starts here.